Hello and welcome back to Speed Freak Garage, home of PowerSports on YouTube. While we are waiting on our race car to get a new engine, we had an argument with some black ice about 2 weeks ago. Went down in the blink of an eye, smashed up the throttle tube, broke the handguard and the mirror. So in the very previous video, we just replaced the mirrors with some rugged Baja rated mirrors. Now, unfortunately, in order for us to do the handguards right, the right way, we would need a Scott's stabilizer with the BRP isolated undermount, and then that BRP mount has a mounting point for a very specific handguard, which is the best of the best that you can do for Baja. I can't afford a stabilizer and a BRP mount right now. I just can't because of this. Thank you. So okay, so I called the homies at Takamoto, and I was like, all right, guys, I have a 2024 FE501S. I need handguards ASAP right now in stock, ready to ship, and I need them cheap because I can't afford to just throw all this money away when I'm going to buy a BRP and Scott stabilizer and everything from you guys sometime next year. So they recommended the Reflex Racing handguards. I'm pretty sure they're more of like a universal type handguard, so I think this install might be a little questionable. We're going to find out. Hopefully not, because I told them it was a 2024 FE501S, and then it came with instructions. It actually came with instructions. Thank you so much. Like, for the love of God, thank you so much for instructions, and not some stupid QR code or just nothing. So thank you. So, however, I hate these graphics. They're just a giant advertisement. They're ugly. So I took the actual plastic piece, the handguard itself, to a local graphics shop to do a custom graphics to match the bike's color scheme. So a white and like a metallic blue. Since it's holiday season, I am way down on their list. So we unfortunately don't know when I'll actually be able to finish up the job. But obviously the video, it won't matter because the video won't be done until the job's done. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to free these from their 10 million zip ties, which honestly, that's a good thing. Like, hey, they protected the product during shipping. And I did go with the black on black, so it just kind of blends in. All right. So we got these, and these are cool because they have this braided cable that allows you to flex and move. So if you wreck, they should flex instead of breaking things that you don't want to break. Okay, then we've got the instructions. Just put those here. So first thing I want to do is see if these even going to work. You know, like flat side up. So flat side up, it says in the instructions, fasten the inner mounts flat side up. So basically, we're going to have to probably pull this pad off, and obviously the phone mount's going to have to come off. So I'm not going to put that on video. This is going to take a while, but the phone mount's got to come off. So I just want to see if this is even going to work, because the way these idiots at Husqvarna, not a surprise that KTM is going out of business. Honestly, no surprise at all. They attach to the handguards, which are supposed to protect your hands, to the freaking cylinder on the clutch. And they did the same thing over here on the brake. And then they're holding your clutch and your brake together with the little plastic chintzy crap that the handguard is attached to, and then a zip tie. That's right, your handguard and your freaking lever are held on by plastic. By plastic. Anyway, so I'm just making sure that this is gonna clear before I go to all this trouble. Ooh, that's a tough call. That's a tough call. I mean, I have my levers adjusted out pretty far right now, or not. Yeah, I have them adjusted out kind of far. I might have to pull those in a bit, but whew, I don't know. It's close. I mean, I specifically said I had a 2024, which are slightly different. So we'll find out. Again, I said this, like I said, this is probably going to be a little bit of a tough install. So we got our wedge locks. Okay, we got extra aluminum sleeves for protecting the braid. And then whatever these are, hopefully it explains what those are. Okay. I think I know what those are. I think those go... I'm gonna bet you those go like... Maybe in there? That would make sense. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is remove... Actually, we're gonna remove the hand guards first and then refit everything. So... I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to take this pad off, which... It's really not gonna save you in a wreck, especially if you're wearing a helmet. I might cut the pad to fit it, like refit the pad, or I might just leave it off. I think most guys, even like the racers, just leave it off. Okay, so now my clutch lever. Oh, there's a spring in there. What a crap design. So my clutch lever has now fallen apart with a little spring that could get lost easily. There's nothing else in there that could go wrong. Okay, so now we can take this off with our little zip tie cutters. We're gonna have to kind of get in there, cut that stupid zip tie. That's right, your $14,000 bike comes from the factory held together with zip ties. So this big contraption, we have to put the black piece back because the nut in this black piece is what's holding the lever on. Now, I mean, technically you could maybe cut this out or just go get a regular nut, but then it could vibrate loose. So I'm gonna try it. I didn't get the right size socket. I think this is gonna be a 6. So I'm gonna try it the hard way first, which is gonna be taking this piece off, refitting it to the cylinder, and then trying to see if the handguard will clear with this black thing in the way. Wow, it was just cheap shit. Look at that little cheap shit plastic screw. There's no threaded insert on the handguard. Yeah, no surprise, KTM, that you're fucking going out of business. Okay. All right, so now this ugly, I mean, you could cut these off, but again, then I can't go back the way it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I want to permanently modify the bike? Not really. Not at the moment anyway. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna have to watch. There's a pocket. There's a legitimate pocket this spring has to go into. Okay, it's in the pocket. Gonna put this back through. Because I thought we were gonna put it back through. What's going on here? Oh, okay. There we go. Maybe it would help to line it up first. There we go. She's lined up now. Okay, we're just gonna hand tighten it and we're gonna check again. I'm very paranoid about this. Yeah, that sucks. This is in the way. So I could just mount it like this. Let me see here. But then if you wreck, it's gonna... You know what I'm saying? Like, I could mount it like this. Temporarily. Again, this is temporary. This is a temporary solution. I could just like half-ass it like this for now. And then decide if I want to cut up the OEM stuff later. Okay, so let's just be real. The right way to do it is to slice these off flush, which I have a bandsaw over there I could do that with. But I just... What is that? It's a weird noise. Okay. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. I mean, this is pretty level. So, I don't know. Real quick, that noise is bothering me, and I'm also gonna take this phone mount off. Okay, so the phone mount's off. That noise, I'm pretty sure there's this really rich douchebag who likes to fly around town with his own helicopter at the lowest possible altitude he's allowed to fly, just to show off how rich he is. Like, legit, he is just... Anyway, that's what the noise was, so it's gone now. So we're just gonna... Again, I try to save all my OEM stuff, because people are weird like that, and they want all the OEM stuff when they buy a bike. Honestly, I think this looks better than the pad. I just wouldn't want to smash my face onto that, you know, like, probably would have to do something to keep these from rubbing on that. So we are going to hope that these are correct, and it looks like they're going to be a 4. Oh, and of course this is the Allen wrench that I had to sacrifice. Yeah, they're a 4. Probably end up having to go get a better set of stuff, but all right, we're gonna take this apart and very much hope that it matches it. That doesn't look promising at all. Okay, I'm a little concerned. Oh, no. Okay, cool. So that actually fits, but yeah, I mean, you can tell it has to go. I mean, it even says in their instructions to bump it right up against here, which might be an issue over here with all these wires. Excuse me. Okay. It'll also make it impossible to adjust the forks, not that I even know how. Or I should say not even that I have the experience to need to. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and you're supposed to Loctite it, but I don't really know. Cut a minimal amount, loosen the throttle, no, blah, 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 blah. Fasten the inner mounts, the handlebar medium Loctite on the Allen screws. That's the thing though, is it doesn't really, you don't want to like just blindly tighten them down before you know where everything's gonna fall. So I guess let's cut. So you basically, you want to cut the minimal amount off of this, and I got a nice sharp brand new blade with a lock, so it locks the blade in place, and so we can, it sucks because yeah, right-handed. So just trying to figure out where the bar is in relation to this. Generally, you can just cut right here. Did I cut too much? So I'm going to cut all the way around this little nub here. And then what is underneath it? Plastic. That's wonderful. Why the hell is there plastic underneath it? What? What kind of joke is this? Should I have just drilled right into here instead? I've never seen just straight up plastic before. It's cutting, it's just concerning that it's... Ooh. Yeah, we hit something that didn't want to be cut. I don't want to just snap it out. All right, so... Shit. I had to change the blade real quick. Okay, I mean, one could argue you could use a super fine tooth, thin, like hacksaw or whatever, but I mean, I've always seen it done the way I am doing it now. So, just you gotta be careful not to screw yourself up. Wow. So that is, I've never seen that. That is some thick plastic covering the end of the bar. I guess it's kind of like a bar protector in a way, but it's going to make this job very difficult because we have to get through it and remove it. This is not safe. Not safe at all. Come on. There we go, we're getting through. Yeah, that looks like shit. That looks like total shit. Oh no, it never looks good. But the bike's, you know, not here to look good. I don't care if the bike looks good. Yeah, that was awful. That was awful to do. All right, we're gonna close up the razor blade. Oh, I made it mad. You gotta be kidding me. Oh wait. Yeah. Okay, close the blade up for now. All right. So, and then we're going to fit so it's showing kind of a little amount off the end, expose the end of the handlebar. Okay, okay. Slide the bar end wedge clamp into the handlebar end and over the cable protruding from the inner mount. Oh, yeah. They're not really giving good instructions. Professional services may be required. That's hilarious. Yeah, I'm going to assume that this, well, see, that doesn't make any sense because maybe this is for, no, it's not going to go over that. What is this for? It doesn't seem like they have any interest in explaining it either, unless it's for like, no. Wait a minute. My bar's not even the right diameter for this wedge clamp, is it? Oh, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. No, okay. That was cool, okay. Yeah, I don't understand what this is. What is, like, obviously that doesn't go there. What? I don't know, because this sits real nicely in there. Is it like a beauty ring type thing? No. I don't know. No idea. Good explanation, guys. Great explanation. Alright, so we put the wedge lock in, and then we basically just spin her up. Okay. And you just want to, like, you don't want it to be tight because you want it to come back out if you need to make adjustments. So you want a little looseness. And we're going to test fit it again here. So we're going to test fit it. Yeah, I mean, you basically just need to slice this off, unfortunately. That's sad. And it looks like I'm not going to have a choice because this... Okay, so now here's where we got to put this all together. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to half-ass it to kind of line everything up. And you're supposed to use those aluminum sleeves to kind of help out, but we're just kind of getting everything lined up to see what we want to do with this. So we're gonna and then, so what I'll just do is I'll Loctite the other two when I'm ready, and then these will be removed, Loctited, and put back. Is generally how I handle that. Okay. So And you want this gap to be even. You don't want to like have one gap larger than the other, so you kind of have to be careful with that. So we're gonna kind of pull that one out. Where did that go? This is that Allen wrench I screwed up. All right, so we're gonna pull that gap. Okay. Now, they want this literally, well, I got this thing here, so I can't like totally bump it up, but they want it bumped up to it, and I would argue level, which is just gonna like, I'm gonna have to take this to the bandsaw. This ain't gonna work. Man. Okay, bandsaw time. Bandsaw. All right, so again, you got a spring in here that you could potentially lose if you're not careful. Okay. All right, bandsaw time. Okay, so we are now going to do a permanent and irreversible modification. Wonderful. Okay, that didn't turn out looking too bad, and if you wanted to, you could always go back and kind of clean this up and make it look better, but I don't really care. It's a dirt bike, not a show car. You know, you're not trying to impress anyone, and if you are, then you're riding for the wrong reasons. Okay, so this is now, and I'm sure there's some kind of, so that now it clears the way it should clear, so that's good. Oops. Yeah, this like wants to go in. So it clears the way it should now, okay? And we can go ahead and just re-tighten down this before we forget, because that would not be good to forget that. So we're going to tighten this cheap piece of junk back down. We'll have to go back and redo the zip tie. And it is just a threaded insert, so you don't want to overdo it. All right. All right, so now that clears. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to line all this up. So we want this down here, protecting the lever. Okay. And then this, ooh. See, I'm not really sold on, I mean, I guess that, because if I have this up like this, it kind of twists everything. I'm not really convinced that's the right way. I feel like it should be more even. You know what I'm saying? Like it should be where it wants to be, not where we kind of forcing it to. And then how many of these extras did they provide? Just 2 on each side. So I'm gonna go ahead and put both of them on. Just kind of give it some more strength, and yeah, of course it's gonna throw a fit. Come on. There it goes. Okay. All right. Oh, we get a little stronger reinforcement on that, and we line this up to here. And then this, we want this off of our cable, so potentially if we just kind of line this up right there with the edge of this, which means this edge will probably be the same. So let's do that. We're going to take this back off so that we can properly finish up the clamp. We're going to lock tight, okay, and then use my messed up little Allen wrench to throw these in there. Okay. Okay, and then we need to basically, I'm going to line it right up with that and then start cranking down so I can not have it moving on me. Probably would have been better to get some ratcheting Allen sockets for this. It's taking longer than it should. Okay, I feel it kind of... Ooh, I might have overdid it just a hair there, because it's the gap on the bottom's quite a bit larger now. Back off just a bit. Okay, too much. Okay, and then it's basically level with this little chamfer here, but it's still away from my controls. And you can see here that the front brake and the speed sensor or whatever that is down there, pretty sure speed sensor maybe. Yeah, it's crappy the way that's done. Frickin' Husqvarna, man, oh my god, they just, man, that's crappy. I have to redo all that. Okay, not touching here, not touching here, or at least if it is, it's rolling on these little aluminum rollers. So that should be good. So now we can go ahead. Yeah, once you clamp it down, it kind of doesn't want to come back out because it's got some tension on it. And this, okay, it's finally out. So Loctite, and then we're gonna go ahead and just run it back in, and hopefully it won't fight me so much. Trying to contemplate how I could potentially save the factory pad and make it work. Potentially just a razor blade and just kind of hack at it and see what happens. All right. It's fighting me again. I don't understand why it's fighting me. There's nothing stopping it. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and tighten it all down nice and tight. Because this part you don't want to move. This part is the part that like holds everything together. Okay. So all right, we got this done. Now we can take our outer piece here. Oh, you know what? These are for the hand guards. Yep, better not lose those, because I don't know when I'm actually going to get the handguards back from the graphics shop. They said it was, you know, obviously holiday season, so they're pretty busy. So, all right, the first thing we're going to do is we want this fully seated in here. I also think potentially we maybe want this down deeper in the bar. Not that I think it's really gonna matter in the long run, because once you start tightening it, so we're gonna like, and I'm gonna guess that's a socket size I don't have yet. 13? I guess, right? Okay. Cool, it's a 13. And one thing they mention is that if you want this to kind of move around, that you don't necessarily want to tighten it too much. They said it's kind of up to your preference if you want it to like be able to move. You know, like this, like see how it's kind of moving on its own. So if you wreck, it'll kind of move, and then this will just wiggle. Or if you want it more rigid, to tighten it down more. So in this case, I want it right there in front of my hand. So trying to see how I can get it level. Okay. Oh, trying to move on me. You know, and the secret to the wedge locks is not to overdo it so much that you screw up your bars. But, so I'm kind of like just feeling how hard it is to move it. And it seems like it's pretty solid, because again, it's this impact, this impact. If you go like this, you don't want to break this stuff, right? Because that's, yeah. So I'm just going to limit myself to how much I can do by just holding the head of the wrench as like a strength limiter. Which it doesn't really seem like it's very tight like that. But that's what we got for now. All right, then we need to run this boy in. And of course it uses the same Allen head. And this has already got some kind of glue or something on it. Let me see if it says to use Loctite. Fasten the inner mount, slide the wedge, push the bar. Use medium Loctite on the set screws. Yes. So we got to take their screw out. Which I'm confused because the set screw appears to be stainless. And the bar is anodized. So though that would tell me that Loctite's not compatible. We will try. Alright. So, it's interesting. If it was me, I would have used the sharp-tipped set screw style instead of the cone, reverse cone. Interesting choice, guys. Alright, so we are going to tighten the shit out of this. Doesn't really say how much to tighten it. Can kind of feel it getting tight, but I mean, how much is, oh yeah, it's getting real tight. Okay, so I guess how much is however tight you can get it. Well, I don't know, I don't have much muscle, but I'm gonna call that good. I'm gonna wipe off the extra Loctite. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so that actually came out great. So that's so much safer now. Now, I don't know how much battery is left on this GoPro, but I have no interest in continuing to film after the battery dies. So that's just a heads up for you guys. If the video stops abruptly, the battery died, and I'm just done with today. got other things to do. Come on. Oh yeah, we need to re-zip tie this god-awful joke of a... What a joke. Alright, and again, there's probably a spring in here. In this case, the spring fell out. So that could have been not good. So we're gonna shove that spring back in there. Man, what a joke of a design. Okay. Gonna cut our zip tie. Okay. And take this off. Then we have to get the 6 mil. Okay, and then with the 6 mil, we're gonna just, whoops, I already had it loose. Break everything loose. Okay, break that loose. Break that loose. Okay. Then pop that off, and then we are now going to go permanently modify. Okay, so we have now permanently modified that, so we're going to go ahead and carefully put it all back together. Trying not to lose this joke of a spring nonsense. So the spring's got to go in there. Oh, come on, right in there. Okay, then this. Whoa. Okay, this goes, wait, what? Yeah, this goes like this. Kind of lost it for a sec. I was like, what did I just do wrong? Okay, probably should have greased this while I had it apart. Definitely probably should grease this later on when I'm not working on a video. Okay. All right. All right. It's not going to go anywhere, and then the zip ties will prevent it from actually coming out. In this case, I should have, don't know if these are going to be small enough to fit through the grooves. Oh yeah, okay. We're going to go through the grooves, which I don't even think they bothered to do at the factory. I wasn't really paying attention. And then we're going to cinch it down. This is so stupid. The way they did this is so sad. So sad. Like, come on, guys. Have some self-respect for your work. All right. And then same here. We're going to go through the groove, around. Going to try and miss all the control wires and stuff, which I need to redo anyway with a different zip tie. Okay, gonna come down. All right, and then we are going to do this. Okay, these side cutters were an excellent purchase. Totally worth it. All right, So now we can work on the clamp. So we already know where we want this clamp to go. Man, they really got those in there tight. Like unusually tight. So this time that we know what we're doing, we can just Loctite all four and throw all four in there right away and not really worry about it. And again, if the camera dies, then that's the end of the video. There's not going to be more video because you already saw one side. You got enough info to do the other side. Granted, there's some wires over there that you would need to potentially reroute or zip tie so they don't rub. You know, just typical housekeeping stuff. So this one's concerning. The threads on this one are kind of grungy. It's not giving me good ooh. Yeah, really not giving me good feelings. So gonna do that. Okay. Then we're gonna Loctite. The Loctite's kind of a good lubricant too, so wait, were you supposed to Loctite the on Allen screws? Loctite. Okay, no more Loctite until I get the hand guards back. Well, I guess, yeah. So we are going to install this. Yeah, I already see issues. Oh boy. So these need to go under it. Absolutely, for sure. They'll be fine. They're not rubbing. They're just kind of trapped now. I could even use this to zip tie to them, actually, to hold, because this jank that Husqvarna left, like all this extra wire they left here like this. This is for something else, just ignore that. Probably just zip tie up like this to the bar or something. This is such a bad, jeez. There's no pride. They have no pride in their work. Not surprised they're going bankrupt. Just like that. Just like that would be perfect. Okay, so we're connecting this here. Whoops. I am now covered in Loctite. So Loctite eats plastic, by the way, so you have to be careful when you're around plastic and you have Loctite, just in case nobody ever warned you, which most people don't even know. I ruined plastic fairings on a street bike one time thinking that the Loctite, yeah, not good. Not good at all. All right. I'm just going to spin these kind of halfway in. Okay, and then we're gonna choose starting. Gonna start this side this time. Okay, and we just gotta start getting it snugged up so that it actually kind of fits down over the bar. That is a close fit. I mean, we are like touching the top of the forks. Like that is almost concerning in a way. All right, so we need to come up some. That's probably part of the problem. So in order for it to be even, it needs to be just even with this chamfer here. It's trying to move on me, so I want it right there. And you're probably thinking, well, there might be a difference between the left and right controls. And you would be right, there probably are. But I want the bike to look straight from the front, as crazy as that sounds. Okay, so that's even now, and if you kind of look at this and look at how it's lined up, it's like dead lined up. I mean, it is dead on. So I'm gonna go ahead and just crank all this down and tighten it up. Kind of just trying to figure out how to get that pad to fit. I mean, this looks fine too, but getting the pad to fit also, you know, would be nice. Oop, that too far that time. Yeah, this one's threads are messed up. Not understanding how something brand new could have messed up threads. You'd think the quality control, I mean, they were pretty cheap. Like I said, they're temporary for now because I can't afford like the good ones, so to speak. Okay. All right. Yeah, all this is gonna have to be zip tied out of the way, I think. Just like that would probably be perfect. So this I can cut off. It's bothering me. It was there for a reason, but that reason is no longer with the tires on it. So okay, go ahead and crank her down. Just kind of do really should have just busted out a proper ratchet and Allen sockets. Okay, that is tight and never going anywhere. All right, I can't believe the battery hasn't died. So now we take these two rings, feed them on. They don't want to go on. They really don't want to go on. Come on. Okay. Come on. There we go. Kind of chewed that ring up a little bit, but that's fine. Oh, I was probably spinning it the wrong way. No. Yeah, there's just like a thick spot that... Okay. All right. The rings are in. Kind of stiffen her up a little bit. Okay. And then this bar clamp, or sorry, wedge lock. Oh yeah, I need to trim it. Where did the razor blade go? So it's already self-trimmed thanks to the black ice, as you can see. So this should be a lot easier. So we're gonna lock the blade, and then we're just gonna kind of finish the trimming job that the black ice started for us. Not good to cut up towards yourself like this. Okay, the battery died, but I decided to have mercy on you guys since we're so close to finishing and went and got the backup battery. So where we were is we were trying to cut this without cutting ourselves. So that's a little more complicated than it sounds. Whatever this plastic they used is actually pretty durable. So we're just kind of trying to saw at it. Especially because you don't want to take off more than you have to. This is not smart. Can already tell this is not smart. Oh, hell. Never had problems with this thing before. Just does not like the sawing motion, I guess. Never cut towards yourself. Do not follow my example. Ooh, or towards your brand new mirror. Okay, now this side is never gonna look good because of how badly messed up it got. But one thing you have to be careful of is your throttle can seize on this bar guard that we're installing. So their recommendation is to remove all this, take it all apart, chamfer this out. But I mean, honestly, you can do it with the knife. You just have to be careful. And it's not really gonna look great. That was dumb. Yeah, please don't take my example. There's better ways to do this. So basically, the whole rotation, you don't want any of this anywhere where it's gonna stick to the guard. So you need to, like, carefully, without fucking yourself up, very carefully just kind of trim away. And again, there are better ways to do this. Ooh, that hurt. Yeah, I just got my knuckle with the blade. There are much better ways to do this, but you can see when I like pull the throttle out, it's still rubbing. So we're just kind of trying to pulling the throttle out, shaving some off, right? Trying to clean it up as best we can. Last thing I want to do is take this all back apart and do it again because the throttle's not smooth. I'm gonna cut myself with this. All right, so I have, that's pretty good. That's not. That's not. Hard part's holding the throttle out so you have all that space you need to kind of work with. Yeah, I still got some sections here where it could potentially, again, don't cut towards yourself. This is not a smart way to do this. Okay. So I've got a pretty decent, still like a little bit here that doesn't want to, there we go. It's just like a hair of it that doesn't want to like behave. The blade's probably pretty dull by now too. The rubber just doesn't want to cut. Come on, just fucking rip it. Okay, so that should now have enough clearance that there will be no binding. Holy crap, that's twisting. Wow, great quality. Frickin'. All right, hopefully that's good enough. We'll find out, unfortunately. All right, so this, I don't know why they wouldn't just pre-assemble this for you. Whoops. Lock washer goes in here, and the wedge lock, and the wedge lock. Okay. It doesn't really seem like it likes to. Okay. Now, same procedure. Gonna basically push in as hard as we can. Ooh, this one's actually, we might have to remove one of those. Might have to remove one of those aluminum washers. I mean, maybe not. This one definitely seems like it's slightly different, and I had mentioned that there could be differences. One thing we want to do is check our throttle. Okay, so we're literally putting all our weight on this, and we're gonna start tightening. Okay, gonna make sure it's kind of straight where I want it. Seems pretty good. Maybe just up a hair. Probably being pushed back down by tightening it. Oh yeah, it is. And then we're gonna do exactly what we did with the other one, where we're just gonna tighten it as much as we can with our palm up on the wrench to start, and just see if those shake loose or if that's what we want. So it's pretty well lined up. If we kind of take a step back here, I would say that's pretty close, at least close enough. Okay. Now, I don't have the plastic guards for this yet because they are being custom graphicked, because I really don't like the graphics they came with. Like, I really don't like the graphics they came with. All right, this has to be re-Loctited. It looks like they were Loctited at the factory for some unknown reason, making everybody's lives harder. I don't know why you would do that. Yeah, they've got Loctite on them, which is so odd. Okay. All right. Okay, gonna crank her down real good. And it looks like once we tightened it up, it pulled some of it back out, so the aluminum pieces have some play now. As long as they don't vibrate, we should be all right. So, all right. I really want to ride this. I really want to ride tomorrow. So. Maybe just a little more. Okay, and then we're gonna wipe away the extra Loctite. Okay. All right. That's pretty good. I wish I had the plastic pieces to show you, but I don't know when they're going to be done, and it's not really worth not posting the video. But basically, these graphics suck. I'm not even going to bother with it. So what you do is you take this, you put this in the plastic, and then the plastic goes between here and then this. Now they say to use Loctite. I don't necessarily agree with that. However, if you do use Loctite, put the Loctite on the threads and then put it together. Because if you put the Loctite on here and this touches the plastic, it will eat the plastic. So that is a warning for you. Don't say that I didn't warn you. Now, I didn't realize these little ring things were silver, so that might kind of screw with the color scheme I asked the graphics company to do. Maybe, was I doing a white stripe or a blue? I can't remember. I was either doing white, blue, or white and blue. Ooh. Well, we'll find out. All right. I mean, that's it. They'll move. I mean, the whole point's that they move, so you don't, yeah, see, I can beat it and move it. We'll see what happens when the bike's like running, obviously, but that was it. The Reflex fit on the 2024, and that's how you make them fit. Oh, blah. I was just about to, yeah, all right, so here is how we're gonna do this. So you can see the cutout, right? So we are going to get this knife. So you can actually physically see where everything was sitting. Oh, there's a direction. I'm gonna say like this. Okay, so this direction. So we want to cut this out, right? And watch your fingers. We wanna cut that out, right like that, okay? And then what you wanna do, and I do not wanna do this on my seat, is you wanna come down, and again, you're not supposed to cut towards yourself. Don't do what James does. And you wanna like, yeah, definitely don't cut towards yourself. So you can see I'm kind of cutting down here to make room, and then I'm cutting down, okay? I'm trying not to like overdo it, because you can always cut more, you can't cut less. So that actually fits. Check that out. I made it fit. Ah, yes. Yes. Well, this part here has got to come out. And then this here. Okay, look at that. I'm making the pad fit. I'm going all out. Okay. Probably would have helped to use a fresh blade, you know. Maybe, just maybe would have helped. All right, let's see how that fits. It's not near as clean as the other side. All right, what is not fitting still? It's just a chunky boy. It's a very chunky mount. It's a lot larger than, I mean, I think like after you ride a little bit, it'll kind of settle itself into the foam better. 'Cause it definitely seems like it wants to, yeah. All right, let's try that. Okay. I mean, that's probably as good as it's gonna get for my level of patience. Now, here's the really hard part. Your little strappy things were supposed to go right where the, oh no, it's not gonna work. Because the straps were right where the mount is. Oh man, see, I thought I was clever, and I don't think I was. Because see, this is supposed to go under here. Maybe I can do, oh man, I don't think it's gonna work. No, there's not enough space. Could I like cheat and do this? Or is it's probably gonna like fold up on me. Yeah. I'm trying to save it, okay? Not that it really matters. I don't know, something about not having that pad there kind of gets in my head, but I don't remember. Can always, yes, okay. Come on, just pull through, would you? Yeah, it's not liking what I'm doing to it. Oh, and I need to zip tie those wires out of the way. Come on, you piece of crap. Just go down in there for a sec. Just humor me. Humor me. Yeah, there. Fold inward. Yeah, fold in. Fold in nice and clean. Come on. Okay. Okay. And then pad. All right. Yep. Okay. And then oh my God, I might have just cheated my way into making, uh-oh. Yep, I think I just cheated my way into making it work. I mean, the way I did it is kind of jank, but, oh no, it's gonna do that, isn't it? Come on, just cooperate, please. Whew. Okay, yeah, that part looks awful, but you know what? It's a dirt bike. I don't know why I'm worried about how it looks as long as I'm alive, right? So we have made the factory pad, kind of, sort of, not really. Whew. Yeah, I don't know how much there we go. Come on, don't do this to me. Yep, made it fit. Look at that. All right, more zip ties. Probably gonna need all 3 of these. Oh, I buy way too many zip ties. Okay, so we are going to take this speed cable, which is just shittily wrapped around because Husqvarna has no pride in their work, and we are going to tie it back away from the sharp metal stuff. So right like that. Just gonna kind of like hide it like this. Okay, and the zip tie will kind of help protect it from the metal thing on the handlebar, like that. See, nice and tidy and away from the metal. Probably should take those out of my mouth so I can speak. Okay, and we'll flush cut it. All right, and then I don't think I actually need to tie it. I mean, maybe, I don't know if that's gonna rub. It shouldn't rub. I think that's it. I only needed 1 zip tie. What a miracle. What a miracle. All right, so that, whoops, I'm gonna keep all this in a Ziploc for future use, but that is the, what were they called? Reflex Racing handguards, the cheap ones on a 2024 FE 501s. Again, the plastic is not done, but just pretend like there's cool, awesome white, black, and metallic blue plastic that matches the shape of the coffin mirrors, because that is exactly what it's going to look like. Look at that. It matches the mirror when it's done, just not these ugly graphics that are just a giant advertisement. So thank you, Takamoto, for suggesting these, because they work great. So thank you guys for watching. I am exhausted and I'm done, so I will see you next time.
Try not to hold me down, feeling like